I'm curious, if you're working, is your resume updated? Probably it isn't, and you're thinking, why bother? Well, let me tell you why. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Sara Curto, and I am a certified career and leadership coach. I help people find their dream jobs where they can work less, make more money, and finally feel fulfilled and happy doing work they love. I'm also a published indie author whose book just launched, Feels Like Home. It's a cozy fall love story about finding your home and finding a community and your love and yourself in the process. Welcome to my channel. This is the place for you if you're unhappy at work, you're unhappy with your career, and you know you want to change, whether it's a new job, whether it's a pivot into a new industry or a slightly different role, whether it's a whole new job altogether, or whether you've just grown stagnant and you want to grow your career. This is the place where you get so much free trainings on how to accomplish any goal within those. So if you are one of those people, I want to make sure you subscribe. So hit that subscribe button and the little bell so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video. Like this one today, telling you why you need to have a resume, even if you aren't job hunting. So let me ask you, if a big opportunity came your way, let's say, I don't know, tomorrow, would you be ready? Maybe like it's for a promotion at work or a transfer to a new department or an unexpected call from a recruiter offering a dream role. Or maybe it's even an alert comes through from LinkedIn with, you should apply to this job. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is my dream job. It's in these moments that having a resume all ready for whatever you want next, it becomes your secret weapon, because then you're not having to scramble to update at last minute. And let me tell you, as a recruiter who's read 100,000 resumes, you can tell when things are slapped together. You might miss out on this opportunity because someone else was ready to go. Having a polished, up-to-date resume that highlights you and your wins, it ensures that you're ready to take action when something like this happens. And I actually wanted to share a story. I don't always share a lot of anecdotes because I know time. Everyone has time. But this is something that really people hear, like they rationally understand, but they really think that, oh, they're too busy. They just don't have time. They'll wait. And I don't want you to get left behind because you've waited. So I had a client who a few years before we started working together, she'd been working at the same company for, I don't know, like 8-10 years. And she was comfortable. She was doing well. She knew at some point she wanted to move up, but it wasn't like on her radar. And she knew she wanted to stay within the company. And then one day, her manager announced that they were opening a senior leadership position, one that they kind of wanted her to apply to. They thought she'd be perfect for it. The catch was, like, so this was not a place that had like a 1 week, a 2 week thing. This was like a Tuesday. It was like early in the week, and she needed to have her resume done by the end of the week. And she hadn't touched it since she had joined 8 years prior. So she spent hours rushing to try and pull everything together. Meanwhile, one of her colleagues had everything. They had it all ready to go. And they were able to submit it immediately, and it was polished. Like, it was good. So long story short, the colleague got the job, and she didn't. And she was left wondering, what if? And felt like that was the decision that pressed pause on her career growth. And then she had to hire me 2 frustrating years later to finally take that step that she should have been ready for in her mind. She was shitting herself 2 years prior. So, and this happens more often than you think. So the lesson here is I want you to stay ready, be prepared, so that you don't have to spend hours scrambling for a subpar resume. So so that's like an example of why. But here are the key reasons. Like, here are the things that might pop up that make you realize that you need to have a resume, or whether you're asked for a resume. So number one is internal promotions, just like what my client went through. Opportunities for growth within your current company, they can come unexpectedly. Someone takes a new job, someone gets pregnant and goes on a leave, someone goes on a sick leave, someone retires. I don't want you to miss out because you're scrambling to document your accomplishments. And you may think it's internal, they know your accomplishments anyway. They do not. They don't. Number two, unexpected job openings. So you never know when you might see a posting or when a recruiter might reach out with a fantastic opportunity. And even if you're happy now, you still want your finger on the pulse of what's going on in the market. And you want to be able to send your resume quickly, because they will not wait around the 2 weeks it might take. And I've had clients come to me who did not apply to a position because they just didn't have time to update their resume, and they had wished they had a resume that was updated, and they lost out on it, obviously, because they didn't even apply. And then they kind of haunted them. They kind of had that, I just wish, like if only, that regret. So I do not want that to be you if an unexpected job opening pops up. Number three, networking events. So if you are out networking at like an actual networking event, or networking at a conference or a trade show or an association, and if someone asks for your resume, like, you want to be prepared to send something off quickly so that they can be that advocate for you for any opportunities. And again, even if you're happy, you want to know what's out there, not just to understand what's going on in the market, which is good for you now and good for your future, but also to ensure that your money is on the button within the range of what the market is paying. I often see the longer you are at a company, the less your pay is compared to the market average. So let's say you've stayed at a company in the last 5 years, your salary's hovered around 100,000. Like, you've gone from maybe 98 to 103, which is something we could see. While the rest of the market, that 98 average salary that might have been average before might be at 108, 112, 115. And you won't know that if you aren't having people telling you and coming to you with opportunities. Okay, number four, career reflection. So this is like a different type of thing. This is a you thing. This is especially powerful for times when you are struggling. So you may feel amazing about your career right now and then polish your resume up and get it ready to go. And then in a month, you might hit a speed bump and feel pretty down on yourself. This updated document allows you to reflect back on the accomplishments you have, to reignite that confidence within you that you've got this, that you know what you're doing. And so having that is a great thing to have. So how do you keep your resume updated, and how often do you need to do it? So I would say every 6 months to a year, you want to glance at your resume to see if there's anything that should be added. So you can set a calendar reminder for yourself today to do that. Tip number two is I want you to have a brag file. This could be a draft email, could be a note on your phone, a note in your diary, or like I use a bullet journal. It could be a Word document, just a collection of numbers and data and qualitative things that you did where you're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. And if you're struggling to think about when you would even do this, weekly, I think weekly is great when you are preparing for your one-on-one meeting with your manager. And I want you to go watch this. If you are a manager, go watch this, start having this type of one-on-one meeting with your team. But if you are a team member and you want a really good structure for a perfect one-on-one meeting, go watch this. But in it, I like to talk about what went well. And so if you have this like weekly reflection before your one-on-one meeting of what went well this week, and then jot some things down in a spreadsheet or that note or whatever, and then when it comes time in 6 months to a year, you can look back. Be like, okay, so what is relevant for the type of opportunity I would get excited about, that I would apply for, or for that next step? And then you can use those to update your resume. Now, every 6 months to a year, I also think it's, especially yearly, I definitely think it's yearly, around performance review time. It's a great time to review your career goals. So you will have your internal performance goals and professional development goals that they will set, but I want you to think about your career goals overall. Like thinking about, is there something specific you want to learn, or is there a specific step you want to take in your career? And then that way you can start thinking about, okay, is my resume set for that? So if an opportunity came up that was that next step, is my resume leadership ready? Or is it still showing? Now, if you are a professional who wants to be a manager and you don't have that experience, and you want to write a resume for that, go here. That'll help. Okay. So I want you to remember that your resume isn't just a document. It's like a living, breathing thing. It's a representation of your professional brand, to be like a super professional about it all. Or it's like your career story, as storyteller Sara would like to say. So I don't want you to have opportunities get passed by not having it updated. So I want you to stay ready for what's next. I hope I've convinced you. Let me know in the comments that I've convinced you that you're going to update your resume this weekend. I hope to hear that. And let me know what would be on your brag file this week. Okay, mine is I published a novel. I will stop talking about it at some point. I'm just really proud of myself for doing that. But anyway, thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, don't forget to hit like or subscribe, so that you get more tips like these. And hey, go update that resume now, and I'll see you next week for another video. Take care. Bye. If you liked this video, then I invite you to join me in the Find Your Dream Job program, where you work less, make more money, and finally feel fulfilled doing work that you love. Find out more at www.saracurto.ca/CYLA. See you there.